All right, Darren. Is this some type of joke? I'm tired of this. I have stuff to do today. Why do you do this, Disney? Disney XD, why? I have places to go. I left my house because there's so much to talk about. Oh my god. So, for those of you who don't know, there was a new Star vs. Force of Evil Battle for Mewni promo. And apparently there's an extended version now that Disney XD posted. It's not on their channel anymore, but some people uploaded it. It might be back up by the time this video comes out. But yeah, so we have an extra like 30 minutes of trailer added on to the previous trailer. But just a couple notes to add on to what I stated from the last one. So this shot right here is not Star. There's actually Diamond Cheek Mark. She just looks a lot like Star in this picture. Has a very similar robe to what Star was wearing when she went into the wands. But this is not Star. Obviously, this is actually Queen Moon. So this is a flashback, and she is looking at what seems to be the darkest spell. And this is probably before she fights Toffee or whatever. So yeah, that was my bad. I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Just like trying to get this video out as soon as possible. And then this one came out, so I'm just gonna kind of chillax a little bit because there's a lot going on. And I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, missed that detail. And to Queen Eclipsa, she's actually the great grandmother of Star Butterfly. So that means she's the great grandmother of Queen Moon. So she made a deal with Eclipsa, which means that she was probably immortal because she was that old. That's a lot. I don't think anyone has a great grandmother 8 times 8 in life. So that means Eclipsa has found a way to be immortal somehow, some way. She probably used some type of monster magic because we know Toffee's immortal. So that means that could be a monster thing. And we know that she was having a little affair with that monster. So she likely was tampering with some monster-ish magic to make herself immortal. So that's really super duper interesting. But yeah. So anyway, back to the new stuff. So we have like about 30 seconds worth of new video footage and new audio. So this is super exciting. It says, once upon a time. So we see Star and Moon walking into this area, and we actually see the members of the Magical Commission that got absolutely bodied and destroyed by my boy Toffee. They're in this really blank like stake. She's holding them like balloons, which is actually pretty funny. It's morbid, but it's pretty funny. I don't think they're dead, obviously. I think they're just in a comatose-esque blackened out state. Which is pretty interesting, but we don't see Lekmet's horn anywhere. I don't know if they're going to use his ashes. God, what is up with this show? It's so dark. Hello? This is Disney. They're probably going to use his ashes to revive them somehow in some way. But Lekmet might be done. He might be out of commission. Okay, because Magical Commission. Okay, anyway. So yeah, so here we see them going into this fountain-esque area. So this is possible that they're going to try to revive them using whatever this is. And Queen Moon says that the Queens of Mewni have been coming here for generations. So it's pretty interesting. This might be some type of healing fountain. We see a little gem with a cage. It looks like almost like a rose quartz gem actually on the top. And then we see it's like sort of like a cage and a tower. So it's really very interesting. I'm not sure what exactly is going to go on here. And we see some like Glossaric statues. So we see one on the left and one on the right that is actually pouring out water. So that's very interesting, obviously kind of tying how the Queens of Mewni have the Book of Spells, and Glossaric obviously is the man in charge of that. And the narrator says there's a long line of queens who live by their own rules. So that's pretty interesting because we see Queen Moon, who I guess was kind of rebelling in her own way with using dark magic and making a deal with freaking Eclipsa. And Eclipsa obviously ran away with the monster. And then now we see Star Butterfly. So these are kind of the queens that sort of went rogue and a little bit against tradition in their youth, or even past their youth. We see Star being a doof. And we hear Buff Frog in the background. He says, your daughter is, and then we see a frog go ribbit, and Star's like, ribbit. So she's super whimsical. And we see Buff Frog says she's very strange. And Queen Moon says, thank you. I don't know what else to say about that. So that's cool. Buff Frog is coming back. She's going to meet up with Buff Frog. We know he's more or less a good guy at this point. So he might become an ally with whatever battle is coming up, trying to defeat Toffee. I'm not sure how it could help, especially since he has his little ones. But yeah, then it says this summer, and then we see Star actually spying on Marco, which is super duper sad. She wants to see what he's up to, and this is actually probably going to transition right from the last promo that we had where Marco was like, oh, he was talking to the dog. He's like, act sad, we're sad now, and his dad was trying to call the sad teen hotline. It's probably a cut right from that scene. It probably transitions right into here, and this is actually a really smart way to transition it if that is the case. So she's using the all-seeing eye to watch Marco to see what he's feeling, and she's super bummed out. He's super bummed out. We do know Marco comes back at some point during the special to Mewni, but I have absolutely no idea where, like, how are they gonna fix this? I feel like it's not gonna get fixed till the end, or like we might have some type of cliffhanger of some sort. But we know the main arc of this season is going to be Marco in Mewni, and there's going to be a whole huge battle and stuff like that. So I'm curious as to how they're going to resolve everything, how it ended, how to not make it awkward. We haven't seen Jackie yet, so we're probably going to do an entire video on Jackie and her role in this season, because it is confirmed that she's going to be coming this season. So I'm curious if there's going to be some type of breakup or anything. But yeah, very curious. But Star said she didn't blow up her whole life just for you to give up. And we see she still has Marco's hoodie, which is super cute. And I guess Moon is kind of wanting to give up for whatever reason. Maybe Toffee's getting too powerful. And she says it's too dangerous. The best thing, it's too dangerous to do anything but stay. So I guess she doesn't want to make any crazy moves. So whatever reason, I guess Star is processing that as Moon giving up, which more or less could be. We don't know the full situation, but it looks like Toffee is getting super powerful. And now Moon is trapped in a whole thing of vines, which is super crazy. This is most likely Ludo Toffee, or just Ludo trapping her in here using dark magic, taking over Mewni, and Star trying to help her. And we actually see Star was playing dress up or something because she has a crazy little fancy hat on, which is super funny. I like how she can remain her lightheartedness even in times of turmoil. So we actually now get a cut back to Mina Loveberry, and I think this is a flashback because, of course, we know that, well, first off, she's normal. She's not like she's not like a crack fiend on the street right now. So this is probably before she got like kicked out of the commission or something, which I don't think we knew that she was part of the magical commission. And she says, we need to go to war, and we're going to come back to that scene in a second. But we see what I believe to be the episode King Ludo, where Ludo is trying to take over. And this seems to be before King River got kidnapped by Ludo, and Ludo took his crown because he still has his crown, and he's going to go into battle with Marco, with all these other Mewmins, and Marco looks pretty concerned, like he's like charging, but he's not ready. That is not the face of someone who's ready. And then we cut to Ludo using his magic, so it looks like he's trying to completely take over this joint. And King River, of course, is not having it. Of course, we know King River ends up getting kidnapped, and Ludo becomes king. So that's pretty crazy. So we already know that whole story arc so far, which is pretty crazy. And then we see Hekapoo saying we need to sign the treaty. So this is probably referring to the Mewmin Monster Accord, which this is probably before that. This is probably during the first battle that Moon had against Toffee and that whole war. So now it's kind of, like I said, I really like how they're doing it, where they're kind of showing us flashbacks and then also giving us a new battle from Mewni, so to speak, where Toffee has returned, but in the form of Ludo, which is really cool. So it looks like they're really having some sort of civil war, and like I said, this is probably why Mina Loveberry actually ends up getting kicked out of the commission or something like that. Maybe she got a little too crazy, a little too aggro, and wanted to just go to war and destroy the monsters. And Hekapoo was just like, let's just sign the treaty and just be done with it. And then Romulus says, yelling feels really good right now, which is classic Romulus, just being a bro. I love Romulus. And this, like I said, this is probably a flashback. He still has his nips, his jewel nips. And then we see Ludo say hip hip hooray, which is like reverberated as if it's supposed to be something threatening. I don't think you can make that sentence seem threatening, but they did it. I guess it's really mostly threatening because you see his arm, his creepy Toffee arm, and then you also see him wearing the crown, so that means he's now in charge of things. So this means he's probably going to be the major threat of this season, or one of the major threats of the season, because we still have Toffee within him, and we still have Eclipsa, and then who knows what Heinous is doing. So there's a lot going on. It says must-see movie event, and then it just cuts to the promo that we talked about earlier. So there's a lot going on here. They really revealed a lot. I hope they didn't reveal too much, but I think there's still enough to go around that it's still pretty curious. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm still super duper hyped. This has been my entire day so far, has been Star vs. Forces of Evil and just trying to break things down. But what did you guys think of this promo, the extended version? Let us know in the comments down below. There's just so much happening. There's so much to talk about. We'll probably have some theory videos on the way, because there's a lot of little tidbits and pieces of information that we could discuss. There's no sign of Glossaric, which is interesting. I don't know how he's gonna kind of come into all this, but we'll just have to wait and see. We're not that far away. We're it's in the 15th, so there's about 2 weeks or so, a little over 2 weeks, and we will finally step into the light. But like I said, we're gonna have lots of theory videos, so be sure to subscribe if you're new here for those theory videos, so you can keep up and hit that little notification bell so you know when we post these theory videos. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like. Leave it a like if you like this video. Star and Marco will get together. You know what? I shouldn't say that, because there's might be some Jarko fans out there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Michael Williams. You've been watching Cartoon Universe, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye now.